Hi there, and welcome back to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes you, Algebra 1. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at exercise number 4 in our lesson on exponential growth and decay. It says to enjoy the following poem. Let's see what this poem says. In 2042, what does Papetti do? He buys a yacht that costs a lot and sails the ocean blue. In 2042, what does Papetti do? He buys a yacht that costs a lot and sails the ocean blue. So, yes, Papetti, that's me, buys this yacht that costs $230,000, and each year after Mr. Papetti purchases the yacht, it loses 9% of its value. And this fancy word for this when it loses value is called depreciation. So you might see the word depreciation, and that means we're losing value. So it says write an exponential function to determine the value of Mr. Papetti's yacht, C of x, after x years. So remember, we're going to be using the general form of the formula, y equals a times 1 minus r, since we already know it's depreciating, it's losing value, to the t power. But again, we know that y is going to be represented by c of x. A is represented by our initial amount. So the initial value is 230,000, parentheses 1 minus, r is our rate that we're depreciating by, and that's 9%. But we need to convert 9% to a decimal before we put it into this formula. We don't want to do 1 minus 9. We want to do 1 minus, and that's going to be 0.09 as a decimal. So we're going to do 1 minus 0.09. And instead of t, it says to use x years. So we're going to do to the x power. Now, what we want to do is we want to find the value after 7 years. So we know this formula represents x years. So it's telling us to, instead of have x years, have 7 years. So we're going to be finding c of 7 in this problem. And when we do that, we're going to have c of 7 is equal to $230,000 times 1 minus 0.09 to the 7th power. Now, whatever calculator you're using now, I want you to pause this video, and I want you to go ahead and put that function into your calculator to compute the value of the yacht after 7 years. So again, you want to make sure you put the parentheses in the right spot, and you want to make sure that you raise the exponent outside the parentheses, and then whatever number you get there, you want to take that number and you want to multiply it by your original amount of $230,000. You're going to find that when you get the final answer, it's going to be a decimal a little bit longer than dollars and cents that you would deal with. So we are going to have to round it to the nearest cent. Just say to round to the nearest cent. Nope, it just says what will the value be. So we'll round it to the nearest cent. And you should be looking at a number that says 118,855.03. So again, the cost after 7 years is going to be $118,855.03. And we found that again just by plugging this into our calculators. 230,000 parentheses 1 minus 0.09 parentheses, raise that to the power 7, and you should get this rounded to the nearest cent right here. And if this video was helpful in finding our first amount after a certain number of years in an exponential growth or decay problem, give this video a thumbs up, and you're now ready for exercise number 5, where we deal with another word problem with exponential growth and decay. Thank you for watching.